trade, who had Steve Smith? Was that Sohail? Okay. He has one transaction, in 2 weeks. You're telling me that inactive son of a bitch got in there and accepted your trade an hour later, being inactive? He can't even set his lineup? Bullshit.
You don't set your lineup. Kaya doesn't set up his lineup.
He's already been eliminated. So has Kaya. And Kaya
So
also,
so you're telling me
Kaya also has only one transaction, and it's not a transaction. It shows me every time you move.
I have like 4 transactions.
No, it shows me every time you move your roster. It shows me every guy you add. It shows me every time you log in. They've logged in once in 2 weeks. You're telling me Kaya, in 4 minutes, accepted that trade. He hasn't been active. And I know Kaya was here. He posted it on Facebook. And they're both eliminated. And that son of a bitch pulled that bullshit in my league before. I'm not letting it happen. I know collusion when I see it. When he traded to Mike, fucking Adrian Peterson from Darren McFadden 3 years ago. Darren McFadden, who's a 40th ranked running back, and Adrian Peterson was first.
Now, though.
But that was 3 years ago.
We're talking about 3 years ago. Kaya's already committed collusion once. I know collusion when I see it. I've run a league every year I played fantasy football.
But if I
I'm not
put
fucking
out a trade,
stupid.
someone accepts it. If it's veto, it's veto. It's fine. That's fair.
It's different if the guy proposing it is getting screwed in the deal. Not when you're proposing it and it's getting accepted. That's bullcrap. That doesn't work. If I'm offering you, hey, here's Greg Jennings for Darius Hayward Bay.
Saying if he had offered it to me, it would have been fine.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
It's fine because if he's proposing it and he's getting screwed, you know what? You let it happen. That's the way it works.
But it's the same thing the
so
other way
if you
around.
want to, no. If you want to go back, and we'll give you every in and out that I like to run it fairly. That I vetoed it. We had the votes. I've got screenshots of everything. We've got 5 votes to veto each trade. That's half the league, which is normally the setting.
That's fine. If it doesn't go through at that point, that's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, but no. The problem was we said it's a 6.
Then what are you gonna do?
It wouldn't.
But you pushed it through that it was vetoed.
Yeah, I vetoed both trades.
Well, if it had gone through, I was just going to trade him. I was going to trade him, Vic, Roddy White, and Adrian Peterson to his team, but that wouldn't be fair to my brother and Brett, who are both doing good and wanting to make the playoffs.
Let this trade go through. We were going to collude on our own, but it's not fair to Devin and Brett, who have worked their ass off and drafted that team. And Brett's played fantasy football every year I've been in. This is the first time he's ever won anything. So to collude like that is a disadvantage to both of them. Not only that, we will give you the chance to, you accepted it, fine. We vetoed it. If you want, we'll go to the ESPN message boards as a moderator. Whatever they say goes. If they say, hey, it's fair, it's fair. I'll tell you what, the Eli Brett Favre trade, we could have let that slide. Andre Johnson for Steve Smith.
That was on Sohail's team. But what about the Brett Favre one? Because Brett Favre is he's either gonna do really well, or he's gonna really suck. I want a consistent guy for the rest. That's what I'm asking.
Then you got to give up a consistent guy.
Why?
You're not giving up.
Brett Favre might be consistent for the rest of the season, or he might suck for
a
the
guy
rest
that's
of the season.
getting an MRI
it depends
on
on
his shoulder.
Who's going to take the risk or not.
You're telling me a 41-year-old quarterback who has a broken ankle and
he
elbow
scored
tendonitis.
38 last week with a broken ankle. You can't tell me he's
who
fucking
did he play
out
last week?
Hey,
who gives a shit?
Hey, what's the difference between the trade?
You can play matchups and get 38.
Here's the thing. You can't. You got to look at every detail too. If a guy has accumulated, if bye weeks are done, you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
I know.
40 more points than another quarterback, averages something 4 points less, and obviously isn't owned in 100% of leagues. Brett Favre's owned in 73.
Yeah, no, now he's owned in 73 because he fucked up last week.
Exactly.
So
so you're saying, hey, let me take this shitty quarterback, this old guy, and screw someone else over because he's already eliminated. What does it matter? Let me get a great quarterback so that way I can make my playoffs push and make sure I make the playoffs.
Like he has Eli and Matt Schaub, right? So if I traded for Matt Schaub, it would be fine.
No,
what the fuck? What's the difference?
Because Matt Schaub's an elite quarterback.
No shit. So is Eli, and so is Brett Favre when he's playing well. You can't say he's not.
You can't put the elite tag on a future Hall of Famer into fantasy football. It's a big difference between a fantasy quarterback and a
But you don't know
if
he's going to do well for the rest of the year.
No one knows.
Okay,
but
that's all this is a guessing game.
The parameters on the trade are what has happened right now, everything that's accumulated the entire season.
Said, if he
and the accumulation is Brett Favre is shit, Eli's top 10.
Eli's not top 10.
Yeah, he is. I have him. Yes, I have him.
Okay.
He's got.
And then you're trading a guy that's not even that's barely top 25 that Chad Henne has a higher rating. Chad Henne's not even a starting quarterback anymore.
Bottom line was, if he wanted to propose that trade, he could at least set his own lineups and try.
Exactly. You can't tell me that I'm going to go out and accept the trade when I'm playing him and he's got
I
Jonathan
sent the
Stewart.
trade out with the clear understanding that it would get vetoed. And if it didn't, it didn't. Fine, whatever. It went through.
If
Right.
we had if the league was set up correctly, we had the votes to veto. Because normally it's just half the league. We don't push it to 6
so
or
it
anything.
wasn't half the league, though. That's what I'm saying.
We had half the league. We vetoed it.
Because we had 5 vetoes
No,
apiece.
but it didn't show that the league vetoed it. It showed that the 11
Because the league is set to
problem.
6 vetoes. And it's cheap for me to go in here and change, hey, it's week 10, let me change it to 5 vetoes just so the trade will get vetoed by the league. Because that's cheap. So I'm going to LM veto it, and then we're going to put it up. If you want, we can put it up to vote. We'll put it on the ESPN message board, and we'll show, hey, Team A is 1-9 in trading Brett Favre, and Team B is 6-4, the 4th playoff seed out of 4 teams, and he is getting Eli Manning. And we see what they say, and we do the same for the Steve Smith and Andre Johnson trade. And I guarantee you, if they say fine, then
the
you know
Steve Smith one probably won't go. But try the Brett Favre, because you don't know how Brett Favre is going to do for
we'll
the rest
do
of the
both.
season.
It doesn't matter. We'll do
Because
both.
like one day he'll have like 7, and the other day he'll have like 50.
But that's the problem. I mean, just because he may have 50 the next week, ESPN projection. I had Reggie Wayne all season. He was projected 27 and 25 week in and week out. He never got me more than 9.
This is what he actually did.
And what he's actually doing is nowhere near what Eli Manning is doing.
Because Eli's been putting up 30 the last.
Like he doesn't. Consistency's great. Like I'd say, hey, if player A has 150,
Didn't dominate my Cowboys, but
like if player A,
it's like 4 points. He's been throwing 300 yards and 3 touchdowns every game.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
how
then
did
Keith Nix keeps going off for like 50 yard touchdowns.
but the whole thing is like if player A is trading quarterback, you're trading quarterback A who's had 100 points on the season, averages 10, and you're trading for quarterback B who has maybe 105 points, but one's consistent, the other one's not.
Than that, though.
No, but I'm saying no, it's not. That's 30-40 point difference between Eli and Brett.
Total points.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Brett's been hurt.
And take the 40 points and divide it by 10. That's 4 points a week that you're averaging more.
Okay.
Do you not see the big disparity between the two quarterbacks?
Yeah, obviously.
So then what's the point?
That's why I proposed the trade.
Exactly, and it's not fair.
Okay.
So what are you trying to tell me?
All I'm saying is that it should have been regular vetoed rather than
I have the option to LM veto when the exact email, what it says in the email is exactly what it tells me. When I can uphold it or decline it, and it tells you in the email. If I disagree with the particulars in the trade that it's unfair to one team and it's too one-sided, then I can veto it. And that's exactly what I did. It's too unfair. Both trades are too one-sided for that trade to go through.
Okay.
So you're trying to tell me, and it's not only playoff teams. It's hey, he's 6-4, I'm 6-4, he's 5-5. We all have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah.
Really.
If I could, shut the hell up. If I could trade like Jericho Cotchery for Calvin Johnson, that's not fair. It's not fair to us.
But you could do it, and then it would get vetoed.
Yeah, and it's not fair to y'all, and
that's
it's not
all
fair
I
to me.
expected, that it would get vetoed.
I'm not getting screwed because y'all gotta play each other. One's gonna lose. Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably.
there we go. You're Mijo's happy.
I played Kaya this week.
I know, but y'all play.
I've had
one
Ray
more
Rice
time.
go for like
I played Kaya this week.
less
No,
than
and then y'all
10.
play one more
in
time.
15
No.
games.
Thank you for not trading him to me. This is
I
really
played
I know.
Kaya.
And if he wins, and I win.
Ray Rice. I proposed you like 10 trades for him at the beginning of the year.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did. I wanted Ray Rice real bad, but I wasn't going to give you Adrian
Okay,
Peterson.
First of all, you have to
Nah,
win
the
out.
only way